People didn't simply watch The Exorcist. Some claimed they felt a strange presence while watching the film, as if the darkness on screen had somehow reached beyond it. In 1973, a film was released that didn't just redefine horror. What begins as small, unsettling changes, strange noises, unusual behavior, quickly transforms into something deeply disturbing. A young boy, whose identity was kept secret, reportedly experienced similar symptoms: violent outbursts, strange voices, and unexplained phenomena that baffled both medical professionals and religious authorities. A mysterious fire broke out on set, destroying much of the filming location while leaving Reagan's bedroom, the central setting of the film, completely untouched. Welcome to Xfinity Evolution, where history comes alive and legends are reborn. In 1973, a film was released that didn't just redefine horror. It created a level of fear so real, so intense, that audiences around the world were left shaken long after the credits rolled. People didn't simply watch The Exorcist. They experienced it in a way that blurred the boundary between cinema and reality. Across the United States, reports flooded in from theaters where viewers ran out in terror, fainted in their seats, or suffered panic attacks. Some claimed they felt a strange presence while watching the film, as if the darkness on screen had somehow reached beyond it. It became more than just a movie. It became a phenomenon, a cultural shockwave that forced people to question what they believed about the unknown. At the heart of this terrifying story is a young girl named Reagan, whose life slowly descends into something unexplainable. What begins as small, unsettling changes, strange noises, unusual behavior, quickly transforms into something deeply disturbing. Her voice becomes unnatural, shifting into tones that don't seem human. Her strength grows beyond what a child should be capable of. And her actions become increasingly violent and unpredictable, leaving everyone around her in fear and confusion. Doctors, specialists, and scientists are brought in to diagnose her condition, but every medical explanation fails. Tests show nothing. Treatments have no effect. Logic begins to collapse under the weight of something that cannot be understood. As hope fades, Reagan's mother is forced into a desperate corner, where she must consider a possibility she once dismissed entirely: the idea that her daughter may be possessed by something beyond this world. This is where the story takes a darker and more chilling turn, introducing the concept of exorcism, an ancient ritual performed by priests to drive out evil spirits. But this is no ordinary battle. It is a confrontation between faith and fear, between belief and doubt, where the enemy is invisible yet overwhelmingly powerful. The priests who step into this situation are not just fighting to save a child. They are confronting something that challenges the very core of their existence, something that tests their sanity, their courage, and their faith. What makes The Exorcist even more terrifying is the fact that it draws inspiration from a real-life case that took place in the late 1940s. A young boy, whose identity was kept secret, reportedly experienced similar symptoms: violent outbursts, strange voices, and unexplained phenomena that baffled both medical professionals and religious authorities. Multiple priests were involved in a series of exorcisms, during which witnesses claimed to hear unnatural sounds, see objects move on their own, and observe physical changes that defied explanation. These accounts, documented in detail, became the foundation for the story that would later be brought to life on screen. The idea that such events may have actually occurred adds a chilling layer of realism, making the horror feel far more personal and unsettling. But perhaps what makes the story of The Exorcist even more disturbing is what happened behind the scenes. During production, a series of strange and unfortunate events began to unfold. A mysterious fire broke out on set, destroying much of the filming location while leaving Reagan's bedroom, the central setting of the film, completely untouched. Several cast and crew members suffered injuries, and unexpected deaths were reported among individuals connected to the project. Many who worked on the film described an eerie, uncomfortable atmosphere, as if something was constantly watching or influencing the environment. The director, William Friedkin, was known for using extreme methods to capture authentic reactions from his actors, pushing them into genuine states of fear and distress. This dedication to realism contributed to the film's intense and unsettling tone, making every scene feel disturbingly real. When the film was finally released, The reaction was unlike anything Hollywood had ever seen. Lines stretched outside theaters, but so did ambulances, ready to respond to viewers overwhelmed by the experience. Reports of nausea, fainting, and emotional breakdowns became part of the film's legacy. Some religious groups even warned against watching it, claiming it could have psychological or spiritual effects on audiences. Despite, or perhaps because of, this controversy, the film became a massive success, solidifying its place in cinematic history as one of the most powerful horror films ever created. Even today, decades later, The Exorcist continues to hold its reputation as one of the most terrifying films ever made. It doesn't rely on fast-paced scares or modern visual effects. Instead, it builds a slow, creeping sense of dread that stays with you long after the film ends. It forces viewers to confront uncomfortable questions about faith, evil, and the limits of human understanding. And perhaps that is what makes it so unforgettable. Because deep down, the fear it creates isn't just about what we see on screen, it's about the possibility that some of these things might exist beyond it. That somewhere, in the shadows of reality, there are forces we cannot explain, forces that don't follow the rules we understand, and forces that remind us that sometimes, the scariest stories are not the ones we imagine, but the ones that might actually be true. If you want to understand how history is unfolding before our eyes, don't miss what comes next. Revisit Xfinity Evolution for deeper insights and powerful stories. Stay informed, stay curious, and join us again on Xfinity Evolution, where the world's biggest events come into focus.